Hey Disney, here's a thought. If you want people to go see your movie, maybe you should advertise it. Just a thought. Apparently, Disney forgot that you need to promote a movie if you want to make money from it. As you probably don't know, Disney released a new animated film, Strange World, starring a bunch of generic characters who go on a mediocre adventure where they experience third-rate family drama. The reason you didn't hear about it is because Disney decided not to promote the film until 2 weeks before its release. Movies released around Thanksgiving usually do well, so it's strange that Disney wouldn't hype this film over the summer into October. I didn't know this was coming out until last week when Ben Shabibo had spasms of tism over one of the characters having the gay and his family accepting him instead of, I don't know, putting two between his eyes like it says in the Bible. The result is that nobody knew this movie was coming out, and the result of that is that it bombed. From Variety, quote, another Disney movie, Strange World, is bombing, grossing a disappointing $4.2 million on Wednesday as it eyes a 5-day haul of under $24 million. That's a terrible result for the $180 million budgeted animated adventure. For comparison's sake, Encanto, another recent Disney animated offering, earned over $40.3 million over the Thanksgiving holiday in 2021, and that was considered to be a soft result for the family film. Encanto didn't really tap into the zeitgeist until it started streaming on Disney Plus when We Don't Talk About Bruno became ubiquitous. I'm old enough to remember when Disney hit their second renaissance, starting with The Little Mermaid, and for a decade just tripped over money. That started to wane after Tarzan, the last of the second Renaissance films, and the following films didn't bring in anywhere near the same box office success. It took nearly a decade for Disney to get back up to par, and they hit it big with Frozen. Since then, they've done well, with most films bringing in $500 to $700 million until the pandemic, which killed all that debt. It's still going to take some time for people to get used to going to theaters again. However, that's only part of the problem. People need to know the movie is coming out, and they need something that's interesting. I watched the trailer to find out why the right wants me to hate this movie, and while it was supposed to be because of identity politics, I found it was just generic and mediocre. The gist of the story is that there's a guy named Searcher who, along with his father Jaeger, is an adventurer. While exploring, they discover a strange energy source. Searcher and the others want to take what they have and leave, but Jaeger ditches them to keep exploring. 25 years later, Searcher, now an adult, has moved on, got married, and had a kid. One day, the leader of his people shows up to get Searcher to help find out why this energy source that he'd been using is suddenly losing power. He and his family get dragged into the mission, and they wind up meeting Jaeger again, who's been exploring the whole time, and family drama ensues. The trailer was nothing special. It was the same tired humor, the visuals were fine but typical, the character designs were okay, and from what I can tell about the plot and story, it's probably decent but forgettable. Of course, the right-wing NPCs got their latest anti-woke update, so they're screeching about the movie bombing because one of the characters has the gay. There's just a tiny problem with that narrative. In order for people to reject the movie for having the gay, they have to know he was in the movie. But since Disney didn't promote the movie, they wouldn't know. So there goes your narrative. But hey, if you're feeling salty, you can always go back to fapping to the Club Q shooting. That should tide you over for the next fortnight, or until the next attack, whichever happens first. So, it turns out that if you want people to see a movie, you should make something they want to see and, tell them about it. And you might want to focus on the movie, and not the thing you admit is irrelevant, like this being the first Disney animated film to feature an out gay character as a lead. Oh, so stunning and brave. Well, come on, earn your back pats. From Yahoo Entertainment, quote, that character is Ethan Claude, and he's voiced by out gay comedian and actor Jabuki Young White. All three of Ethan's elders are accepting and encouraging of his choice of partner, which Young White says is one of the things he most appreciated about the script. This isn't a coming out story, and it's not him looking for acceptance of his identity, the former Daily Show correspondent says. That's just who he is, and it's not underlined or made to be a big deal. Then why are you telling me about it? I have eyes. I'm going to see he's into other boys when I watch the movie. If the movie's not about him coming out, why are you telling us that he's gay? Listen. If you don't want to make it a big deal, you have to stop making it a big deal. Yes, you're going to get attacked by the right for having gay characters. They're going to do it anyway, it's built in. That has nothing to do with how you choose to promote the film. Make the movie, let the character be gay, don't make a big deal about it, and the right will freak out all on their own. But when you play politics like this, you give your self-professed enemies the ammo, metaphorically and literally, to use to attack you. Stop worrying about checking a box. This doesn't bring in money, and it damn sure doesn't make for good storytelling. That said, I doubt identity politics was even the problem here. It looks like it was just a mediocre idea, and I suspect Disney knew this because they focus test these films. That might explain the lack of promotion. Let's also not forget that this came out around the same time Disney bumped Bob Chapek to bring back Bob Iger. Maybe during the transition, other things were prioritized over the marketing for this film. On that point, much of what happened under Chapek was set up before Iger left. The right-wing snowbodies cheering on Iger might want to remember that he brought us Disney Star Wars, and he's also the one who pressured Chapek to speak out against Goober DeSantis and the Don't Say Gay bill. He isn't the chud champion you're looking for. Iger signed on for another 2 years as CEO, so we'll see what happens. It would be nice if over his hiatus he had learned the value of original ideas. Stop with the sequels and the remakes and come up with something new. There are scores of folklores Disney has never used from all over the world. Adapt one of them. Maybe bring in someone from Japan, like Yo Yoshinari, and just give them Disney money and see what happens. Or you can get wild and adapt something you should have adapted a decade ago. Kingdom Hearts. You hear that, cha-ching? That ain't Frozen money, that's Infinity War money, sitting right there. Just saying, make it happen. But what do I know? I'm just some guy.